You don't need to put your hand on the Bible to recite your oath.
Right.
Right. You can stand there and you recite the oath. That's what you originally said you came to do. Remember, he was recruited by the military in order to lead the operation for the public perception.
Right.
Central casting. They are actors.
You know who Trump remind me of? You remember the movie Frank Lucas? You know that white boy that was after Frank Lucas, the main guy that was after Frank Lucas. Like he played dirty. He knew the way he plays. Like he's like, yeah, I know I played dirty to did things to catch you, but you take a bad guy to catch bad guys. It's kind of like that. Like you take a guy that know what they know to catch them. Like Trump know all their hangouts. He was at their parties. He know about Einstein, right? He know all they moves. So it's like, yeah, he was the best card to play because hey, I know they hang out here. I know they underground stores. I know how they rig it. Remember, you told us on the last, I think it was about two shows ago. You said that Hillary Clinton said something to Trump, and then Trump said, "Yeah, I know it's rigged because I use it." The system.
Yeah, he's talking about the system. He's talking about the system and the tax laws.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And not only that, you gotta remember, Trump, the first one who reported Jeffrey Epstein to the FBI.
Mm.
If he was doing dirt with Epstein, why would he be the first one to report it?
Yes.
Epstein is not on their radar until Trump complained about him taking little girls from Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
And then they made him go undercover and get all the information he could. There's a whole lot to that, to the layout of that Trump story with Epstein, and the modeling agencies and all of that stuff. Because remember, Trump used to own the Miss America pageant.
And that's where his old lady connected with it. She was one of them supermodel chicks.
That's why you see Epstein in all of those pictures with Trump. He was using his Epstein connection to hook him up with the modeling agency that overseen her. Then he paid for them not to molest her. He didn't want her molested, but then he told her, learn everything you can. Yeah. That's why she know all their signals. She know all their business. But they wasn't allowed to touch her because Trump paid a lot of money.
So do you think that the 9/11 thing gonna come back up? Because we know that was an inside job. We know that they named in that paperwork that Trump got about. I know 9/11 in there. That's like one of the calendars.
They already released those files.
Yeah, they did.
They still released the files, and they accused in the files say that it was George Bush, Dick Cheney, and one more guy, Donald Rumsfeld.
Yeah, it was
They was the ones who was following out the old man Bush orders. Remember, the real reason they went in Iraq is because Saddam Hussein had a hit on the old man Bush. That's why they went in Iraq. It had nothing to do with 9/11. 9/11 was what they call a prelude to war. Yeah. You have to cause a condition to get the people to support you going to war.
Yeah.
9/11 was the condition they created.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Let's roll that next one. We got a couple more. Man, go ahead.
That one was explaining what I was telling you about the changing of the Federal Reserve monetary system, the BRICS dollars, damning the dollar back home, because it's no longer accepted BRICS nations as a reserve currency. Right? So all that was telling you the banking side and the history tied to it, that the banking systems was being used to siphon the wealth of the nation, of the people, and the people never seen any benefits of the wealth they generated.
Right.
Right. And this is why our major cities look so blighted. Because the wealth has been strangled out of them by foreign interests. The foreign interests they the reason we have a perpetual Congress. If you remember in early constitutional law, Congress only met for a couple of weeks out the year.
Right.
Right? Now they meet every damn day. You have to make them take holidays in order to get them from up there, and they all are lobbyists and special interests, and they all are influenced by their donors. Their largest donors are the ones that can control them the easiest because it's the financial backing. You got to remember, after every time you go through a campaign, whatever money left, you get to keep.
Right.
Right. So every so many years they run for office, and then people give them these massive donations that they don't need because ain't nobody running against them of any value. But that money end up being their personal wealth.
That's crazy, man.
Politics in America, baby.
Hey,
when you know how the game plays, you can explain it to the rest.
This right here system getting ready to burn, baby, burn.
Yeah. So you went down and started off that Elon Musk turned on Donald Trump, but it was a sting.
Yeah.
Okay. If you go back to when it happened, Brother Rich asked me, he said, what you think that is going on with Trump and Elon? I said, I don't know, but to me it looked like they playing good cop, bad cop, trying to squeeze somebody in the middle. Right? So then this come out and it's explaining what they was doing. They was playing good cop, bad cop, trying to squeeze somebody in the middle.
And they sent a message by blowing up that Cybertruck in front of the Trump Hotel, whoever they was after.
Yeah, because all that was when they was trying to activate those sleeper cells. And then that one sleeper cell woke up and rolled through New Orleans instead of going to get that little girl.
Yeah.
Allie. That's who they was putting the hit on.
And all of a sudden, like all of a sudden she pop out. Like she had been like right when all this happening, she come out. Diddy get arrested. Do you think Diddy is like a fall guy? I think Diddy was involved in some of this in some form or fashion, and he know a lot about it. Do you think they got Diddy out the streets because he could tell on? Because he could tell on some guys like Epstein and all of them? Because he was in New York with Epstein and all of them. You know Diddy know about Epstein, man. You know?
Look, only thing I gotta say about Diddy, if Clive don't go down with Diddy, Diddy wasted his time.
Right. Yeah, you got a point there. Number one guy.
Diddy was to all of them. Clive Davis, Larry Cohen, L.A. Reid, Russell Simmons, even the ones out west, the ones that was associated with Tupac.
Yeah. Jones, Jones, all of them.
Well, Quincy was a non-consequence or a non-factor in what Puffy was doing. But he was still a gatekeeper.
Man, you heard that story about about Michael Jackson putting some hands on Tupac over Quincy Jones' daughter. They say that that Michael Jackson was at a party, right? So they can say that Michael Jackson's at a party. He got Tupac is dating one of the daughters, right? The daughter who he dated. Yeah, she's sitting on Michael Jackson's lap, right, at the party outside. Tupac come out there. He like, what the hell going on? He grabbed her up off of Michael Jackson, and he said, "Bitch, come on, get in the car, right?" And Mike said, "Hold on, you can't talk to her like that, right? You know how Mike talk." He said, "Man, Mike, mind your business." And then they went back and forth. They say Tupac swung on him. Man, they say Mike got hands, bro. That's Joe Jackson's son. It's Joe Jackson's son, man. They say Mike ducked him, caught him with two. Then Tupac tried to grab him. They say Mike spin kicked him. They fell on the ground, started wrestling, then they broke them up. But everybody saying Mike won. Mike won the fight.
Listen, you got to remember, one of the reasons Joe Jackson made them start practicing music was to keep the oldest boys away from the BDs. Disciples was chasing people, forcing them to be members, and at the particular time, there was a Jackie and Jermaine. They wanted them to join. I think they give an overview of it in the Jackson movie. And Joe was like, y'all gonna go join nothing, y'all gonna join this damn band. Right? And he formed a band to keep his boys out the street. And then Mike came in as a little boy singer. He just started singing one day, and they let him join in, and the next thing you know, you got the Jackson 5. But that's what that was all about. Now, that being said, Jackie got hands, Jermaine got hands. What do big brothers do to little brothers? Beat them up until they make them tough. Come on now. We know the culture. So he even show you that they used to have conflicts with the brothers. They used to be fighting each other. That's what brothers do. Big brothers make little brothers tough. That being said, Mike traveling all around and them little girls jumping on you. He had a few scraps. We just probably never heard about it. Some little jealous hearted little boy with a broken heart wanted to knock his teeth out. I can guarantee you that. You know, you gotta remember, he was an adolescent all the way to then he was a teenager. He was famous the whole time. So he had to eventually start hiring bodyguards. Oh, Purple Passion got hands too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Prince. Oh yeah, I heard stories about Prince put some hands on some guys, slapping them couple guys.
He'll whip your ass with them stacks on.
I heard about him slapping a couple guys up too. I was like, what? Prince slapping guys?
They don't take the purple passion to be his motherfucking definition. That ain't all he was. He was using that to sell music and to be an artist. His dress style and his music ain't had nothing to do with his manhood.
Right. He dressed like a vampire to me, like from the medieval times, you know.
All that fluffy. That's European. That's European dress.
Yeah.
You call it French style. The French.
Yeah.
With the fluffy fiffies and the fluffy wrist, that was the French.
Yeah. Man, you know something? They said P. Diddy used to slap guys up and rough them up, but P. Diddy got some hands. I heard stories about him roughing guys up for real.
He got in a couple of fights Suge Knight. What did you talk about? When Wolf got killed in Atlanta, him and Suge had got into a fight.
What?
Right before that happened.
That's crazy, man.
Suge was trying to, big brothery, rough him up. He wasn't buying it. Then another time, Suge went into a dressing room where he was at, shut the door, said that nobody come in, and they was moving furniture in that mug. Nobody know who were, but Puffy ain't no punk on that level.
Yeah, well, I heard Puffy got some hands too. Yeah, hey.
You can't grow up where most of us grow up and don't know how to fight.
Right.
You might not be the best, but somebody got to have some real good hands to beat you. Right. Especially when you one of them ones that stay to yourself and don't have no pack of niggas with you.
Yeah.
Right? And then they think, oh, he a lone wolf. I can whoop him. I got my boys with me, and sometimes him and his boys get whooped.
Yeah. It had been times where I heard that they said that Tupac was rowdy, right? And they said they had came in contact with Nas. And they said that Snoop Dogg said that, man, Nas had about, like, he used to roll with the Supreme crew. You know, them guys were real killers, man. Them guys, the Supreme guys. The 5% Supreme guys. They said that Tupac was acting all crunk, but Snoop Dogg said he had noticed like 3-4 guys with their hand in their coat. They were with Nas. He said, hey, they were about to get off on them. Tupac was trying to get off on Nas, but they were about to get off on them. He said he told Tupac to chill, man. They it's no chill. It's something going on right here.
Nas said Snoop blew that all out of proportion.
Oh, Nas said it wasn't like that, huh?
He said Snoop blew that all out of proportion. He exaggerated it.
Okay.
He said they did meet up, but they wasn't hostile with each other out the gate.
Yeah.
They both felt they needed to have a conversation, and they, had to get their soldiers to stand down so they could have a conversation, and they had one.
Right. That makes sense.
I said that's all happened. They had a conversation. Now I was going to say go into no details about what they really talked about, but that was right after he did the Death Row East announcement.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it happened. Right after that.
Yeah.
And then he told Nas, my bad, dog. I dissed you in some tracks, man. Before we had this conversation, he said, when I get back, I'm gonna clean that stuff up. Next thing you know, he was in Vegas.
Yeah.
He didn't get to clean it up. You gotta remember, Nas was invited to be on that One Nation album too.
Yeah. 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 Hey, what about your boy E40 Water? Because they say E40 Water, people say, man, you get into it, you diss him, and then you come to LA. Man, look, they say you don't need to come to LA if you diss E40, man. They say Biggie.
Let's go to Bay.
Yeah, Biggie Smalls.
He's from the Bay.
Yeah, he from the Bay. They say you come to. They said Biggie Smalls had did a diss tape on him or said something about him. He came did a show in San Francisco. Soon as he got out the show, going to the limo, some guys, 2, 4, 5 big guys, approached him with AKs. Say, hey, you could come with us. E want to holler at you. You know what I'm saying? He said, man, he got scared. They say they put a phone to his ear, and then E40 talked to him and told him let him go, right? But you didn't want to get
again. What is that showing you though?
Huh?
What is that? They had a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Most of us be beefing in the hood and don't even know why we beefing because we ain't never had a conversation with the person that's supposed to be our enemy.
Go ahead, right?
If we sit down and have a conversation and we be sincere, we might find out, damn, we got a whole lot to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
Maybe we could turn something around in our community by having these conversations. Most of us don't know we was infiltrated by people that look like us, and we letting the people that look like us keep telling our kids to kill each other.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. We ain't hipping them to the game enough where they know how to move and how to sort out the enemy in their midst.
Right.
Right? So we ain't giving them, or they ain't listening, one of the two. It's not a whole lot of people out there telling them that they got some people in y'all community that look like y'all that ain't y'all. They want to see y'all all fall.
Yeah. Yeah. Real talk.
Right? Once you understand that, though, you can say, okay, do I really need to go over and ride on them dudes, or is this dude super me up? One of them ones that look like us.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Because once you understand how they move, they can't trick you no more.
Yeah.
You see it every time.
Yeah.
They do it every time. They'll go start some gunplay with somebody to get the team involved.
Yeah.
And then they don't have no off switch, but they ain't never around when the real drama happens.
Yeah.
Everybody get killed but them.
Yeah.
Everybody go to prison but them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Setup artists.
They say your boy MC Hammer wasn't no joke neither, man. They say you say something about Hammer, man. Some guys he had about 15 killers with it. For real. Like that was all his kin people.
Look, the girl Hammer got hands too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, remember, man, out west, they run that fade.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
They run that fade. Everything is not a shooting in the West Coast. They think every time that the gangs have a conflict, somebody gets shot. No, 90% of the time, there's no firearms involved. It's run that fade. I got a problem with you.
Right.
That's going all the way into the penitentiary. They first order ain't to stab nobody.
Yeah.
Run that fade.
Yeah.
But if it's a whole collision, a riot situation where whatever happened,
yeah,
it's full blown chaos, survival at all costs. But that ain't a culture.
Right.
So guys like 40 Water and Hammer, growing up where they grew up, the locals wasn't gonna not let you be tested. You're not coming out the hood shining no bad light on us talking about we pumping out punks.
Right.
You won't be able to handle yourself wherever you go, or else you gonna shine a bad light on us. When they ask you where you from, and you tell them I'm from the Bay, they like, oh, them Bay niggas soft. They not buying that. They not going to allow that to happen if they can do something about it. Right. But in this new era, we got the worst of the worst because they are threatening to shoot you and tell on you if you do something to them.
Kind of.
Like, that ain't gangster at all.
Call the police if you do something to them. That's crazy.
So it's a lot of people wearing red hats or red cloaks or red caps, right? Then the next thing, when he point to that dark circle at the bottom, he says it's going to be one native chief telling the people about the old ways, why this is going on. Mm-hmm. Right? Then he say the final punishment, the ones on the top, they gonna get beheaded as their punishment. And he say in the awakening, they gonna ask that chief about how his people was treated. And he gonna say they took everything from us. So now we want everything back. Mm-hmm. Right? So the prophecy is fulfilling itself in real time. Right. But we don't know what it looked like because most of us don't know the prophecies. Right? The prophecy of the black wolf. Mm-hmm. Be it true or not, there's many black wolf legends throughout the tribes. And the thing that followed after the quoting whoever he was quoting was accurate to the prophecy of the Hopi that we just went over. Mm-hmm. Right? So they parallel to the same degree. You also had one prophecy of a white buffalo, and that white buffalo was born in North Dakota a couple years ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right? Then there's another prophecy about the white elk. The white elk was seen in 2016. So all of this prophecies of these rare sightings of rare animals of their species are all signs for the shaman to read. Right. They don't mean nothing to regular people. It's just a pretty animal. But for the shaman from the land, it's telling him something. You can't see all this stuff back to back like this if it ain't telling you something. Now you got to translate it and see what it's telling you. Right? And that's how we get information to answer what's going on behind the scenes that they're not putting out in the public. Mm-hmm.
And he said some like the same. Like the other dude was saying some ships gonna come when the black wolf come. Then he was talking about some people coming down the sky. I maintain like the way he sound like it's some extraterrestrials like coming down. The way he was describing it.
Mm-hmm. Still got the three of them come from the ship.
It's the same thing. They mentioned in the Bible. It says 3 men came to Abraham, and one of them. Man, this right here is so this was my questions, Rod. So all these earthborn prophecies really is just coming. It's fulfilling us to get back where we started. Like before the dirty guys came. Whoever they are before they came, we going back to the original ways. It's like it's a reset. It's a reset. Pretty much all these signs is a sign of a reset to a new age or a new beginning.
Yeah, we call it a restoration.
Uh-huh.
Right. And as the brother said, it's called a jubilee.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Forgive our debts as we forget our debtors. Forgive us our trespass. Forget those who trespass against us.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But forgive don't mean forget, and it don't mean they don't need to be punished.
Right.
Because you forgive, that means that you don't hold animosity in your heart that's keep you from rising up. But that don't mean that if you had an opportunity, you still can't behead them.
Right.
Some of them, you can't trust them. I forgive you, but I don't trust you. You got to go.
Right.
Right. So I'll be the one pour the lever on the guillotine concerto in the public domain and be smiling. What they did, you did it to us.
Right.
Well, I'm not gonna let you get away with it.
And
Nope.
they give the brother for years in jail.
It won't even have one nightmare.
Yeah. Hey, you know something though? Your boy, man, I was just about to say it too. That's man, what's happening now? You know, it's like it gives you the goosebumps. Like how long is it gonna happen? Days or months? But it's happening. It's like it's happening faster than what we think, and than what you
Yes, I call it the slow building, the building falling slow.
Yeah,
skyscraper. That mug look like it's falling slow to you trying to get from under it.
Yeah, yeah.
Then you realize how fast it's really falling.
Yeah. Hey, we'll take a couple questions for the crowd, man. Hey, y'all, drop your chats, drop your questions in the link for Chief Raw Hayes. Whatever you got.
First three, Eddie.
We'll take three, then we'll get out of here. We already over the time anyway, but it's all good. I ain't got nowhere to go. Hey, y'all, if you want to show Brother Raw Hayes some love for the Clash, you know how we do it. We got to keep Rod from working at the plantation, man. We got to keep him rock watching these suckers, man. 24 hours a day. We need Rod watching these suckers 24 hours a day. Keep us updated. Because like I'm telling you, man, it plays a big part. Even if you ain't physically out trying to stop these people, just by you being aware of what's going down, it's another nail to their coffin. You don't even know how much. Just you being aware of knowing what's happening, it's another nail to their coffin in the mental plane. I'm telling you, man, it's more powerful than what you know just by you being aware. You know?
When the people realize somebody is actually telling us what they're doing while they're doing it, and it's all connecting the dots, that's how you be in Magnolia, Mississippi. So when I say Miss Ice is standing on pie, I'm talking about my mother as the queen mother of my family's inheritance.
Right.
And the 360 degrees circle touches the Appalachians on the east, the Canadian border on the north, and the Rocky Mountains on the west.
Okay.
Right. But then it also goes into the Gulf of America, formerly known as the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh.
So it's telling the triangulation of a territorial birthright being identified in the Masonic codes, which ties to geometry and geography. If you don't know where your land is, then you don't know what land you claim. So you put the twin in it at the center of pi, and then you draw the circle from the center, tying the string to the center. You can make a perfectly 360 degree circle, right? Using the workman's tools called the compass.
Okay. Gotcha. That's
Right. What you saying?
All right, that's perfect because I was gonna go into that. I received a download saying, okay, I received a download and it kept telling me, look at Mississippi. Look at Mississippi. So I heard what you said about the Miss Isis pie. But then when I looked at it as well, I saw M
I saw two caduceuses.
You saw two what?
Is that what they call the two snakes and the pillar?
The
Caduce, ain't that a
caduceus.
caduce? Yeah.
Yeah.
So two caduceuses, I guess you would call them, and then pi, and then also St. Louis's area code is 314.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm only about 20 miles from Cahokia Mounds. And also, it told me look at the water first. So I live right by the Mississippi and the Missouri River. And if you know, those two rivers are just as long as the Nile.
That's
Missouri is
called,
actually the first longest river in the United States, and Mississippi is the second.
yeah. So where they meet at is referred to as the junction of the two Niles.
Yeah, the confluence. The confluence.
Yeah. Most people don't know that the Kemetic plateau was developed as a replica of America by Tahuti.
Right, right, right,
Right. So it's smaller than the whole of America, but all of the monuments is made up based on things that was over here.
right, right, right. Okay. So so what do you think about that Mississippi as the caduceus? What would that mean with
So the
if it
caduceus is an ancient symbol. It's a serpent that wraps around the snake. The original caduceus looked like a dollar sign almost.
right, right.
And
Not the two snakes, just the one snake.
right.
Okay.
That's the called the staff of Asclepius,
Okay.
right? And it's the same symbol Moses used to heal the Israelites when they told him to wrap the serpent around the staff.
Right.
The symbol is talking about genetics and healing, homeopathic healing,
Okay.
right? When you see the serpent wrapped around the egg, is a different symbol. The egg is symbolic of the world egg or the universal egg of creation. The egg means infinite potential. So the serpent is wisdom wrapping around the infinite potential of whatever it is to be birthed from the egg. Then you
O-
have um, the double caduceus, which they use in modern medicine with the two wings on the top. The double caduceus is the symbol for the DNA helix. And the two wings on the top is the left and right hemispheres of the brain.
Right.
And then you have what's called a nodule or a knot or a ball on the top, which is the symbol for the pineal gland. So when the pineal gland on, that's when they say that both hemispheres of the brain is functioning equally. Now I believe I can fly like Robert Kelly.
Okay. So do you think that all fits into the Mississippi as far as the pot? Do you think that? Okay, that's more of what I'm at. Do you think? Because the way the download was sent to me is the words is symbols, they codes, and it told me to look at the rivers first. So even with I heard Mama T when I was watching Black Magic too. She was talking about anytime she see IS, she think ISIS. Right. So I was thinking the Missouri River meet too, and they got the same thing. It got the staff with the two S's. You see what I'm
Mm,
saying? And then with the pi, the 314 is pi, and then 618 is right across the river, and that's the golden ratio, which
mm,
Brother B Dale was talking about
mm-hmm.
in one of his episodes. And then also I want to this one more thing too, and then I'm gonna let you kind of roll on what I just said. But and then also it pointed me toward the arch, right? So when I took a overview of the arch, the base of the arch is a womb, even to the dot where I guess where the it's got every piece of the womb on it, even to the point where when you look at the womb and the water when when the arch reflects off the water, it actually looks like an ankh. This was all sent to me in the code.
You talking about the Arch of St. Louis?
Yeah, Arch of St. Louis. I'm in St. Louis.
Okay, I'm just making sure I'm on the same page with you.
Yeah, Arch of St. Louis. If you look at the overview of it, it's actually it's a womb. It's a picture of a womb. To the point where even the dot in the middle of the arch is the exact picture. I can send you the picture. You know, but these are the downloads that I got. So I just kind of want to run them through, you know, to you, and just kind of want to get your opinion on that, because like I said, and even this one too, even like Illinois, when I looked at the rivers, because we got 3 rivers that surround St. Louis. St. Louis is really like an island. It's only one spot you can get out of St. Louis that's not a river. So the Illinois River, the Missouri River, and the Merrimack River and the Mississippi River all surround. But even Illinois, when I looked, they told me, look at Illinois. And I looked at Illinois, and Illinois was staff, 2 angles, staff, and noise.
Mm-hmm. So what you actually doing now is you starting to read the symbolism in the letters. So they commonly use calligraphy to exaggerate the letters to make the symbolism of the letter more pronounced. And you starting to see it now in the regular letters.
Yeah.
When you see the staff with the double serpents, it's talking about the DNA helix. Now, something critical to understand about DNA: the mitochondria, as the powerhouse of the cell, also scans the DNA, right?
Right.
And this is the same way when the mother's hormonal balance of progesterone, testosterone, and estrogen shifts. That's when she know to make a boy. Right. We thinking that because the father have a Y chromosome, that's going to automatically make mama birth a boy. That's not the case.
Right.
If her chemistry doesn't shift to facilitate the Y chromosome, she turns the Y chromosome off and produces a girl anyway. Right. This is a law of nature. It's the mother's right to determine what's needed genetically for the next generation. Right. So this is all hardwired into what the woman is as a creator god. Men are ruler gods. That's why we can't own the land, because they one with the earth. That's why the 5%ers call them earths. Right? The gods rule, and they rule for the earths, not over the earths. And this is why the relationship situation they got so far out of hand, because all the ruler gods, they want to rule over the earths. You don't rule over the earths. You rule for the earths. You become of service to the feminine, who in turn be of service to the masculine. And they create a special kind of balance which changes the frequency of the living arrangement. When y'all in close proximity, y'all creating the ark of heaven on earth. The ark of the covenant is the union of the marriage. The marriage has nothing to do with a ritual or a ceremony. It has something to do with finding the balance in somebody else that helps you generate the frequency of heaven on earth. Let's get it popping. California in the building. California. And the jig didn't come up. Let's see the next one. Ari Berry 94. That look like that's my girl. Right now, I sent you the request, and you the next one up on Chiefing with the Chief.
Hey, Uncle Rod.
What's going on, please? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good and good. What's going on with you?
Um, Honestly, right now I was in the middle of cooking, so I'm trying to get that like situated.
Okay,
Um,
so what you want to talk about today?
so today, I really just had like questions about kind of like I guess it could be like the ancestral realm or whatever. But most of my questions was like when you was talking to the one lady earlier about like when she has contact with her relatives that have passed on. Um, like how like that disincarnate like being, you can't always see them, but like you can kind of see that they're there and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Like with your mind's eye. So like boom, when I was, I don't know even how old I was, but I was like a really young kid. Um, and I had like this instance where like I seen this like big like dark like figure in like my hallway, because I used to sleep in the bed with my mom when it was just like me and her before my siblings and stuff. So like at night she used to put like on like movies and stuff for me to like fall asleep to. But I don't know, I've always been like a night owl, so like I always would just stay up like after she would go to sleep and I would just be up. So this one particular night I just like looked over into the hallway, and that's when like I seen like the figure, and it didn't do anything or like say anything, but as a kid I had to be like 3 or 4, because I remember just thinking as a kid like when I seen it like, oh snap, that's my dad, because that's what it looked like the shape and everything, it looked like my dad. So I was just like, oh snap, like I'm supposed to be asleep, and I remember like I just laid down. But you know, whatever, like time went on. And then as I got a little bit older, I never had like my grandfathers around, but I always would ask about them. And I learned that like my dad's dad had transitioned very early. I think my dad was like 3 or 4 when he passed. So like when they were telling me, and I was like a little bit older than that instance had happened, but I was still kind of young. And I remember when they told me, like they were showing me pictures of him, like the first thing that like came into my mind was like,
They show you pictures of.
of my grandfather.
Okay.
And my grandfather literally looks like my dad's like twin. Like it's so crazy, but they literally look like twins. So like when they were showing me like pictures of him, I'm like, oh snap, like that looks like what I seen in the hallway. But like I never told anybody that. Like I've never told really anybody about that, because like I've talked to you before, like about my family. Like they don't really play that type of stuff. They gonna pray it out of you. So like I always like will kind of keep stuff like that to myself. And as I got older, I feel like I've just kind of like almost done it to myself, but I've kind of lost the ability, kind of like to see stuff like that. But I always still can feel it. So like even like in my adult life, like I live by myself now, but like once I moved by myself, like when I first started living here, like I used to like, I don't know, like I could just feel that like there was another presence, and I would have stuff like that as a kid happen when I would tell like my mom or tell
And you
like
think
people
it's
I talk
gone
to.
now?
It's not really gone, but the ability to see it, I guess, like because as a kid when I would like tell them like it's something in the room with me, like to me I could like see it, and it felt like there really was like another like person or something there. And they were just like, you know, as a kid, like it's just the dark, or like you're just whatever. So like they would just tell me like to, you know, say your prayers, all that type of stuff. So like I feel like as I got older, I just tried to like rationalize it more. But there would still be like just random instances, even in my adult life now, where I'm like, I can't rationalize like the feeling that I have. And then like it made me think of what you were telling the lady, that like we can't always see it with our like eyes in the 3D, but your mind's eye can still see it.
Yeah.
So like I guess my question was more so like, with the being that I feel like is my grandfather, what do you think is like the advice if you feel like the energy isn't like good, or like isn't like neutral? Like, because I guess to preface that, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. But to preface that, the only other person I've told about like that instance with that figure was this girl that had given me a reading. She was like a family friend, and this was a few years ago, but I remember like telling her that, and I just asked her like, what, like, you know, what is that? And like I don't know. Her reaction kind of has scared me a little bit, but
Okay, okay,
she.
okay. Slow down, slow down. Now you're trying to be all over the place. Come,
I'm
bring it back,
sorry.
bring it back, bring it back. I don't care about your friend. Go back to the question that you was finna tell me that your friend took you off of.
Okay, well, I guess the question really is like, how do you know if like you can't see these things? How do you know like if they're good or bad, and like what to do about
Okay,
that? Like,
first of all, the only thing bad is what you say is bad. Fuck, if it's your grandfather, he ain't come to do nothing but look out for you.
right,
9 out of 10. All right, the only thing that you got to worry about of him watching over you is what was his vices, because those are your weaknesses. Other than that, and then as soon as you conquer those weaknesses, you clean up his karma because you didn't live it out. You conquer his demons for him. Rather than that, it ain't no demon with no horns coming out the ground. Demons. The
right,
demons is those things that's negative energy that somebody in your family couldn't conquer. So they passed it down for one of the descendants to conquer. That's the demon. The daemon. It's a thought form that needs to be slain. It's an egregore in the family's collective consciousness that somebody in this life has to tap in to be influenced by that elder ancestor, but they have to be strong enough not to fall for their shenanigans. And the only place you can find that strength is in pure love. That means ain't no judgment left. Yeah, my uncle was a rotten motherfucker, but that was my uncle. And I ain't gonna do the shit that he did and made him rotten either. Right? So the understanding the faculty of the ability to see them and communicate with them is determined by how well you understand it. Because you can't control what you don't understand,
right,
right? The more you can understand it, the more control you have. The more control you have, the more access, right? You might give your child a trust fund, but we say here first we're gonna give you $20,000 when you turn 20 to see how you can handle money. Then if you handle that well, that's gonna unlock at 21 another $500,000, right? He's graduating through the understanding of the money that he didn't understand before he started using it. It's the same with the faculties of the higher senses. And it's the tools that we given to break generational curses. Study yourself and you'll answer all of the secrets of the universe for you. Because you're the secret of the universe that you keep a secret from yourself. So the whatever psychic ability you have, the more you are aware that you have it, the more you'll see it. The more you use it, the more you develop the talent, the skill. And because you've used it so many past lives, once you get it, you got it. They can't take it away. And it won't stop. Because once this, like Dick Gregory said, once the universe put these glasses on you, ain't no taking no mofos off.
taking them off.
Yeah. Focus the mind. Practice your whole thought process being reduced to one statement or question or sentence. You're thinking in the whole book at one time. So when you try to get a clear thought across, you reading the whole book at the same time, all the pages. You gotta learn to read one page at a time so that your communication is clearer and it's unlocking the superpower. That's the tool. So it's the training of the mind on how to use the mind that gives you more control of the mind. The more you have control of the mind, the easier and clearer you can communicate with spirit. Once you can clearly communicate with the spirit, you become a translator for the ones who can't. And a coach, once you understand it at a high enough level, a coach for you to for help other people tap into the skill set by telling them what I just told you. You don't know that you psychic until you know you psychic.
Right.
And then as soon as you realize you psychic, you say, I knew that,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
like some people have to learn how to dribble a basketball. But some people is born with the dexterity. If they see somebody dribbling the ball, now they know how to dribble the ball. They seen it one time. That's rare, but it's there, right? And because they use the faculty in past lives. So in this life, anything that requires that faculty comes with ease. You just have to train the man. It's not really training the man because the psycho mom gonna do what it want to do. It's just that you have to learn what it's doing in order to focus it. And the only way to do that is for you to write your own codex. It's your tool to translate what spirits say in terms you understand, because now you can give an expression to the feeling. Got it?
I got it.
Wanna be starting something. Got to be starting something.
That's so funny too because oh my gosh, my grandma always used to like that was her husband, the one that had passed away, and like she always used to say like me and my brothers be reminding her of him because like I really used to love like Michael Jackson so bad when I was a kid, but like we always just be like singing and dancing and stuff, and she'd be saying like that's literally like how he was, like he was just like a really sweet, like happy, like kind man. So that's funny.
They've been loving our hair textures in here. We've been getting man eat the love all through the camera.
I was about to say people always like give me compliments and stuff on my hair, and like I don't know, I guess because it's my hair, like I just
That's
be
the
like
first thing
yeah,
I said to you first time we talked. I like your hair.
yeah.
Like your afro. Black girl magic on deck.
What you be saying? I put that shit on everything.
Yeah, black girl magic. I put that shit on everything. Yeah. Okay, sweetie, I'm gonna let somebody else come up now. Okay.
All right, Uncle Rob, be safe.
All right, sweetie. Chief, why not the God? This one gonna be hard, y'all, because we be having conversations sometime, and before we know it, a whole hour be done past, and I don't even know if we got a whole hour.
Yo, peace and
What's
God, what
what's
up?
going on, my brother? What's going
Man,
on?
peace and polygamy, man. It's always a joy, man. I appreciate the energy, God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Hey,
so man, shit, and I was just finna flame up too. It's only right, man. I take a chief with the chief, man. Shout out to the chiefs, man, in the building. Peace to the gods, man. I definitely need a peer review from you, bro. I got a few things I wanna a few questions. And hopefully, we don't take up too much time because you know how we
yeah,
roll, Rod.
I know. That's why I be hesitant sometimes to bring you up because I be trying to help many people, and I know how we do.
For sure, for sure. All right, so look, let's get to it. Um, I need a peer review from you from this lesson I did, on interdimensional beings. But I'll rather you just do the peer review last. And let's get to the questions though. So first question on time travel. So we know scientists can travel forward in time. Now, do you know if we can travel back in time? And if we can, how does that work?
The traveling back in time is easier than traveling forward. Traveling because you got something called memory that ties to collective memory. We call collective memory Akashic records because the name of the original organizing librarian of the Akashic records was the goddess Akasha. But all it is the access codes to the collective memory to see what happened in the past. You can remote view the past. And if you know enough of the past, you can see exactly what's going to materialize as it unfolds in the future. Because the future is the mirror of the past. Now that
Right.
we break in the cycle, we at the point where we can change the past and make a new future, or become victimized by the past and doomed to repeat it.
Right, right, for sure. So definitely, I should have been more specific. So we knowing that, the future and the past is merely just a thought. If I ask you what you do yesterday, we'll have to think. If I ask you what you're doing tomorrow, we will have to think. So the future and the past is merely just a thought. But however, like on a time travel forward into the future, like if you leave Earth at light speed and come back, you're gonna be
Now you're
younger than
talking
everybody on the
moving
planet.
three dimensional reality from past to future.
Right. So
That's what you're describing, right?
hold
Like
on,
your
say it again.
physical body right now, get into a craft, fly to the past, fly to the future.
Exactly.
Right. So every time when you walk to the store, every time you take a step, you step one step into the future.
Mm-hmm. What about the past?
You still got one foot in the past until you move that foot to the future.
Okay. All right.
They
Okay.
call
That
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 the
there
steps
you
of
go right there.
the steps of the grand man.
Mm,
It's the perpetual now masquerading as past and future because
mm-hmm.
none of it really exists. The paradigm of three-dimensional time travel is predicated upon the reality that you time traveling in real time,
Right. Time is an
right?
illusion, though, right?
Right. All it
Okay.
is a focal point. The focal point is required in order for three-dimensional reality to give us three-dimensional reality. When you
Okay.
step into the fourth dimension, there's no such thing as time. Everything is instantaneous now.
Mm,
But people can't grasp the mental ability of the difference because we are limited in the 3D to thinking three dimensionally.
facts.
So when we try to explain what it's like being fourth, fifth dimensional minded, living in those realities, the only reference point you have is three dimensional reality.
Right. Okay. For sure. Because we
Right?
can't perceive reality in higher dimensions.
You can perceive it, you can experience it, right? But as long as you using three dimensions as your frame of reference,
Logic. Okay.
it's still gonna look like you in the three dimensions.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Earth is going into
Gotcha.
the fifth dimension, flipping out of the infinity loop, right? And going to the fifth dimension, the age of knowing, um, you are still going to have three dimensional reality. Because three dimensional reality is the backdrop by which the higher realms play out on. It's like
Mm, okay.
they projecting three dimensional reality. But to us, they watching a movie, right? But to us, we the characters in the movie, we reeled in the mofo.
Mm-hmm.
But to them, we just
Right.
projections on the screen,
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah, that's
right?
deep.
That's now you have to have one dimensional base in order for three dimensions to work. Then you need a cross section, a mobile cross section that's scanning left to right. Then you
So that
need a
mo
fixed
that
position projection. The fixed
that mo
projection,
that that cross position would be like, would you consider that as a tesseract? Because we know that to go into higher dimensions, a
Hold on, I'm about to
tesseract
tell you
must
what
be
it
added.
is. I'm about to tell you what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So now, once you have the left-right variable covered, you need the fixed position point as a light source to illuminate everything that's being seen. It's called a hologram projector
Mm-hmm.
in 3 dimensions. The
Right.
outside of the 3 dimensions, it is the 3 dimensions is what's making the hologram stand out based on the one-dimensional base.
Right.
This is why
Okay.
they keep saying that the earth is flat, because they're looking at the 3 dimensional world from a fourth dimensional mind. In the mind, in the fourth dimension, the earth is an infinite plane.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're seeing it mentally, spiritually, you don't know how to explain to people that everybody is right. It's not only is it a flat earth in the fourth dimension, it's an infinite plane. But in the
Right.
3 dimension, it's a torsion field that gives the illusion of a globe
Mm.
in the
Kind of like,
projection and the accumulation of the energy, right?
right, kind of
And
like in
everybody's,
quantum mechanics when they got superposition, when everything can exist in multiple states simultaneously. Until we observe it, then we collapse the wave function into a single state. Kind of
yes,
like that, right? Okay.
yeah.
Super.
So when they see in the fourth dimension, they see it in its wave form. But when it
Mm.
collapses to 3 dimension, it becomes the torsion field that's collapsing into the particle.
Right. Okay. So look, before we get too deep, and I know we on time. Man, I wanted to get your, I wanted to get your perspective on deja vu, and sigils as well. But I really want you to peer review this lesson I just did on interdimensional beings. Now, real quick, just a brief on the lesson. Starting off with the living and the dead is in the same space, but separated by dimension. And you was explaining something about to old girl that just left off your panel, about the daemon. You brought it up, which goes into, you feel the lesson. So basically explaining interdimensional beings don't come from outer space. They come from this space, from